Yeah, so here's DJ Boy here for Sega Genesis. A very nondescript beat 'em up. So you're this kid with roller skates and you try to save your girlfriend from all these guys here that for some reason really hate DJ Boy. Of course, you wouldn't know that from actually playing the game itself. Okay, so you start the game and you're thinking, what the hell is going on here? You're this little guy beating up all these people here, but why? So to figure out the story, hopefully you got with, case and instructions here. Well, the case doesn't even tell you. Look it, you go buy this game, it doesn't even show you pictures of what type of game you're getting. Yeah, and it tells you right here. Okay. Alright, here's some evil blonde asshole kidnapping some little girl. Okay, he's driving away in some sort of truck. And she says, help me, oh my god. Alright, typical storyline, but, oddly enough, this storyline was actually in the Japanese original. But for the US game here, yeah, you go play this cartridge, that's all been taken out. Even when you finish the game, you only get some boring text that, yeah, you saved your girl and you lived happily ever after. Big friggin' deal. Of course, that's not all they changed from the Japanese version here on the more boring North American version. Okay, so here's the game DJ Boy for Sega Genesis. Okay, so it's a Double Dragon-esque type of game, but here's a cool little theme on it where you're on roller skates. And, to be honest, it doesn't start too bad. The problem is, you get a lot of stages in here where you're forced to move, kind of like in the game roller games. The thing is, you got faster punches and everything, and slower kicks, but they have greater range, typical fighting game bullshit. Because this game is going to throw the kitchen sink at you. Yeah, here's the third boss here. 2 robot clowns. Yeah, it's different. It's a little bit stupid and it doesn't make much sense, but it's different. Yeah, unfortunately I can't stop that girl that's throwing, I don't know, like grenades at me? Holy shit. Yeah, you want some? Oh no, you can't hear. Okay, you're thinking to yourself, it doesn't seem all that bad. What's the problem, Star Soldier? Well, it's a very tough beat 'em up, let's just say that. Look at this. Find the boss here. Okay, she's pretty tough. Yeah, so not only is it censored, but thankfully the censoring here is done pretty well, Yeah, this woman used to be black in Japan. Of course, they had to censor that out because it's almost a bit too stereotypical. Look at the silly black lady and her goofy overeating, throwing pies at you. I remember that same outdated, crappy bullshit was going on with Brodus Clay and Shelton Benjamin. You introduce black characters on your TV show and you don't know how to write for them. And of course, they like big Mommas and everything. They're all fat, overweight, stereotypical. The first boss, yeah, it's actually some purple lady instead of older black lady. So, props for them. But when you face the last boss, though, it's still the same woman, but now she has her black tones back. Sometimes I'm able to beat that big woman, and sometimes I can't. Because she has very unpredictable kicks. And this game gives you a little mercy. Like, there I died. Yeah, you get no lives. And you get no continues either. Now here I am finding a male stripper for some reason. Oddly enough, this wasn't censored from the Japanese original. Something that wasn't in the arcade edition is the shop mode. Here you can get burgers to refill your health, hats for defense. A lot of this stuff though is very damn expensive. Like, I would love a speed upgrade. I would love to upgrade my punching ability. I'd love better defense, but holy shit. I can't afford anything practically. Man, the girl here is hotter than the girl I'm trying to rescue. Hell, she even winks at me. My problem is you only use a shop at the end of the stage. I would love to have a shop here before I actually fought a big boss. Like if you compare this to something like a Golden Axe or Streets of Rage, you know, two very complicated fighting games. Yeah, the controls just are not as smooth. You almost have to be lined up perfectly with the enemy. There's very little margin for error. I hit you! Okay, here I am in stage 4 and not too much has changed. Still very hard to hit enemies despite my upgrades here. And this game doesn't have very smooth controls. It can get hard to find the right momentum sometimes, especially when you're on roller skates. You compare the control to something like Streets of Rage 2, you know, how the skate character actually moved a lot better even though he was on skates too. Yeah, you get cinemas here whenever you defeat a boss or something like that. You just don't get cinemas when you actually beat the game or actually start it. You know? The most important part of the game. Yeah, and here's where the level design really gets repetitive. Look, it's that Vegas girl in the foreground there, blocking my view. But that's the whole stage here, practically. Just one strip of Vegas light scenery. You got that Vegas girl blocking my view. And that's it. And you get a whole bunch of clowns here. It gets very repetitive in a hurry. This one just doesn't measure up. Well, in the later stages, it gets even more difficult because you can't even see the stage or the area around you. And that's in a game where you get no continues. So nice. This game is just brutal. It doesn't matter which difficulty you select. It's insane on Eater mode. And that's why DJ Boy for the Sega Genesis here gets a 28 out of 100. I guess they had to make it so difficult because it's kind of short. But still, put more meat on the bones. Sound effects, it sounds like when you're punching and all that, like it's a bunch of static. Definitely a very early Sega Genesis game, but still, I think they could have done a much better job. Man, did they ever botch this one up. Like, holy shit. Oddly enough, you know, the stripper dude on stage 2 and the ads for beer are still in this game. Yep. Signs for DJ Boy and nice beer. You figure you would have taken that shit out, but no. And that's why this game is somewhat controversial and more of a letdown than anything else. Because it still doesn't play very well. It's hard to control. You don't got a lot of moves to work with. It just feels very unbalanced.